What's up, everybody, and welcome to Hate2Pylon. These are the Pylon picks, and we're going to give you what we think is going to happen this week, and we're super excited for another week of football. We are in week number 10?
10.
Wow, we are really progressing, man. But
Flying by.
before we get started, just got to say this one thing. Oh, not that thing. But
The
yes,
Cowboys stink.
Of course, but not that one, I'm talking about go ahead and follow us here on Twitch and YouTube, CJT Creation Box. Go ahead and get us to 50 on both platforms. And once we do that, we will do a grand giveaway. And we are super excited to do that for you guys. So go ahead and follow us. Tell your friends about us. Tell us to check us out. Tell us what you think. Leave comments and leave messages. Let us know what you guys think. And we'll keep it cracking, keep going better and better for you guys.
Facts.
But without any further ado, let's get into the picks, shall we? We're going to start off with Thursday Night Football, which today is Thursday night. The game we got tonight for you is, go ahead, Jonathan.
The Indianapolis Colts, 5-3 versus the 6-2 Tennessee Titans. So we got an AFC South matchup tonight on Fox. For some reason, the line is Indianapolis by 1. What I'm seeing, I'm taking the Titans.
See,
and I don't think it'll be that close.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing I hate about these, because the division games, they're so hard to call. And I mean, unless you're playing against the Jets. But the Patriots kind of stink, as we saw last week on the Trash Run. Go ahead and check that episode out, the Trash Run from Tuesday. Go check it out. It's phenomenal. But like, divisional games are so good, and the Colts are so unpredictable. The Colts are slowly starting to get healthy, and I feel like, I don't know. I mean, the Tennessee Titans should be like world beaters. They should just take this division steadily and easily. But I don't know. Something just gives me a weird feeling. Wait, who's home? Who's the home team this game?
Titans.
I don't know. Like, they did get a victory last week. Short week, of course. I don't know. This is a tough one. Like, these two teams are like as we talked about this earlier, and you said this plenty of times. You don't really know how real the Titans are, and you definitely don't know how real the Colts are. Are the Colts even real? I mean,
they're not. No.
But like, they get wins that you don't expect, and they're 5-3. I mean, if they win this game, they could be. They're tied. They're tied for the division. So I don't know. I really don't know who to pick. Which 17 is really going to be good enough to win the game? I think because of the one factor and one factor alone, Derrick Henry, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans victory.
Yeah, I got Titans too. It seems like Derrick Henry always goes off on Thursday night games, but they're usually against the Jags.
And I don't think he had a 100-yard game in a week or two. Maybe
no,
two.
They shut him down last week. I think he had like 20 carries for 60 yards or something. Oh. So he's looking for a bounce back week, and he usually bounces back quite hard on Thursday nights. So I got Titans 24, Colts 16.
Okay. Ditto. I just realized that I don't have my defensive player in, and that's Darius Leonard.
Yeah, I'm going to do that because he's pretty good.
And McCall Hardman's on bye, and he was put on the COVID list. Also, a quick news update for that. Uh-oh. I picked up 2 tight ends this week because tight end's been my weakest position, but I've got 2 guys who are coming off the IR. Who do you think I should start this week? Dallas Goedert or Austin Hooper? I'm leaning towards Austin Hooper because of the matchup against the Houston Texans, but
It's his first game back from
second.
appendicitis, isn't it? Second game.
I think it's his second game back.
How much did he play last week?
Last week was against Pittsburgh. He got 5 catches, 83 yards. He's actually, I don't think he's missed a game. Well, last week was a bye. So, yeah. I'm tripping. That was back in week 6. So, he hasn't played since week 6. That's true. First week back is always a little rough. Dallas Goedert could be worked back a little bit better, especially as a divisional game. And that was one of his favorite. That was Carson Wentz's favorite targets early on in the season. So, and he was my starting quarterback earlier and I decided to put. Anyways, all right. So that was the first game Thursday night. We'll see what happens. I'm super excited to break that one down on Tuesday. Going to the next game, we kind of really were just talking about it. Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. Another divisional game here. The Philadelphia Eagles lead the division 3-4-1 over the New York Giants. 2-7. Giants got another victory last week. Their only victories have come against the Washington football team. Danny Dimes is actually undefeated against Washington in his career, which is, I think, total bullshit. But hey, it is what it is. We didn't get the dubs those 2 weeks. We should have easily. So both teams kind of stink. But I think Philadelphia is coming off a bye, and I don't know. I think honestly, I don't know. I don't think New York is good, but I think they look decent against NFC East teams, and the defense has been playing pretty well for them as of late. I'm gonna give the edge to Carson Wentz. I'm gonna act just like Dan Orlowski. Carson Wentz is the greatest quarterback. You're just not looking at the tape. Carson Wentz is one of the greatest quarterbacks out here. You're just not looking at the tape. You're not looking at the tape. But I'm gonna tell you this: he gets it done this week, and Dallas Goedert goes off for me because I got to continue my streak. I'm on a 4-game winning streak right now on my fantasy football team. I am in first place, and I love it. So Philadelphia wins 34-22.
It's a pretty high-scoring game. I'm also going Eagles. They got Goddard and Jalen Reagor back right before the bye. And then Alshon Jeffrey practiced this week, so he might be playing as well. So that's 3 weapons back. And then they have Travis Fulgham, who's been a breakout star for them. Well, maybe not star, but breakout player for them definitely this year. So this is by far going to be the best support cast Carson Wentz has played with all season, especially if Miles Sanders is also healthy enough to play coming out of the bye.
It could go on a run.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles 31, Giants 21.
I like it. All right, so next game. Unless barring crazy circumstance, this one should be a straightforward game. But this is the NFL. No team is safe. And I'm talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Green Bay Packers. Who do you got, Jonathan?
Well, the Jaguars are tanking and the Packers are not. So I'm going Packers 38, Jags 17.
Okay. I think that our boy Luton, was that something like Cody Luton? For Jake, is it? What are them names?
What names? What names? Say it.
I definitely bit my tongue there. Hey, mama taught me right. Let's see. I don't know.
Jake.
Is Jake? Okay, Jake Luton.
Yeah.
He came out hot throwing a bomb to DJ Shark to start off the game last week. Really interesting.
But Shark's going to have Jair Alexander on him this week, so not. Not
If
great.
James Robinson, if James Robinson can get the ball rolling, we know what the weakness is of the Green Bay Packers, and it is their
That's
run
true.
defense. And when the Jacksonville Jaguars look like a winning team, or not, oh, that was just week one, but when they looked like a good team, they ran the ball. They featured the ball heavy and then did great off the play action. They got receivers.
The problem is the game script. If you're losing by 3 touchdowns, you can't just run the ball the whole game. You got to throw the ball. So that's kind of been their issue with him. But yes, he's been very impressive when he gets the number of touches he needs. He should probably get the ball a little bit more in the passing game as well.
Yeah, he does get a couple catches.
He's really solid.
Yeah, it's a good back. Terrible
Definitely.
too. Good back.
Correct.
I'm going to say, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, Green Bay Packers are going to win easily. I'm just trying to decide whether Aaron Rodgers throws for 6 or 4 touchdown passes this week.
Well, split the difference. Go 5.
Yeah, 5. 5 is a good happy medium. I don't know, man. I think it's in Green Bay. Jacksonville's not going to show up in the cold weather, especially in Jacksonville, being from Jacksonville in Florida. So I'm going to say that the score is 38-17.
You stealing my score.
That's what you said? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Short-term memory is a bitch right now. So
that's all right.
And next.
Great minds.
Let me yeah. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna introduce this game for you, because this right here, I'm gonna tell you right now, this game right here is gonna be the game of the week. And I'm talking about a battle of 2 strong-willed teams with 2 great defensive-minded head coaches. Okay? I'm talking about the nation's Capitals team, the Washington football team, soon to be the Washington Red Tails. I'm talking about, I don't know, or yeah, Red Wolves. Actually, I like Red Wolves more. Versus the Detroit Lions. Nothing's dirtier. Let me ease off. Our defense plays dirty, but not as dirty as our water. But who's going to win? The game's in Detroit. Matt Stafford is 2 weeks removed from COVID-19 exposure. He didn't get the virus, no. Alex Smith coming off his, he's been back a couple weeks now.
First start, right?
First start since his horrific injury that he had a couple years back. And this is going to be a lot of press coverage. A lot of people are going to cover this. Alex Smith goes off this week. He makes the offense look competent. He did make some bad throws forcing it, but I think he's kind of getting his legs back under him. A full week of preparation, perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect preparation for this man. He's about to go off. 3 tutties, 336 yards, and he's going to throw a screen pass to Antonio Gibson, takes it to the house for 68 yards. Whew. Crazy game. Cam Sims, another 100-yard game. Oh, don't forget, one of the greatest wide receivers in the NFL, Terry Scoring McLaurin, Captain McLaurin. We win this game 28-24. And then we keep it moving.
It's tough to follow that up, but Washington stinks, so they're going to lose. The Lions also stink, but slightly less.
They almost tried to fool us by going on a 2-game winning streak and thinking, oh, this team might be bouncing back.
No, sure isn't. TJ Hawkinson didn't practice today, Thursday. I'm not sure if Kenny Golladay did or not.
Hope not.
Kenny Galladay also did not practice. Matt Stafford did practice. But still, if you're down Kenny Galladay and TJ Hawkinson, he's throwing to Marvin Jones and
Swifty.
Marvin Hall, I think, and Swifty. So not a lot of weapons, but have you seen Washington? Lions 23, Washington 17.
Whoa, okay. I'm not saying I'm a little hurt or anything like that, but okay, I respect it. You didn't have to agree with me. We can have a difference of opinion on the show. It's okay. It's not, you're wrong, but it's okay.
Am I, though?
Listen, man, Washington's going to win this game. Moving on to one of my favorite quarterbacks, your favorite quarterbacks, one of our favorite people we like to talk about and we've been rooting for, and we're glad we finally negotiated his release. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans taking on the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland! We still suck! But the big difference is Houston stinks too this year. So who's going to stink more? With Houston, they've been a team that once they get a win, they can kind of rattle off and go on a streak. We've seen a few years ago where Houston won 11 straight games to make the playoffs after starting off 5-0-5 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they can win some games. I'm not saying they will per se, but it is against the Cleveland Browns, and you don't know which Cleveland Brown team you're going to get. I think Nick Chubb is close to coming back possibly, but I don't think he's ready yet to come back.
He's practicing, but I don't know if he's going to play or not yet.
So, Nick Chubb coming back will be huge for this team because just that two-headed rushing attack was just different, and Kareem, nothing wrong with Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's still a great back. But I just think the offense is not as prolific as it was. Then also losing Odell Beckham Jr. And I want to say Jarvis Landry might be questionable for this week. I think I just saw that on the homepage. Okay. Jarvis Landry absolutely playing for injured Beckham. Okay, so maybe I just read the headline completely wrong. Shame on me. Don't jump to conclusions. What was I saying? So Houston versus Cleveland, battle of shit. When you talk about battle of shits, who should you pick? You should pick the Cleveland Browns. You know what I'm saying? Because, brown is the color of shit.
Oh, unless you had Odell Beckham joke there. But that works too.
I was going to let this man live. I'm not going to add insult to him.
Well, that's why I was like, oh, man. This man's on injured reserve. He's still catching strays.
But then you talking about Odell. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Give this man a chance. I'm not.
No, I'm just saying. I thought that's where you were going. I'm not going.
But I'm not going there. But you brought it up.
So neither of us are going there then.
So it's just
off that.
Now we're just bringing it up, and then now it's just a shitty situation. And I don't know
what up.
Nothing.
Exactly. It's there. It's over.
Okay. So. All right, so Houston versus Cleveland. Houston is 2-6. Cleveland is 5-3. Houston's coming off a victory. I think Cleveland's coming off a loss. Is it in Cleveland this week?
It is.
1:00 game. I don't know, man. This is a tough one to call because both these teams are. Houston stinks, but it's for the right reasons. Cleveland is trying to stink, but trying to cover up with perfume. And it still stinks. You know what I'm saying?
No, not really.
But when you fart, like you take a shit, you spray, and you don't got like Febreze. You use like I don't know, Great Value.
Lysol.
It's like Great Value air freshener. So now it just smells like a shitty lavender. Like it's just not it's not what it's supposed to do. God damn. All the shit jokes, man. Uh, uh,
Far too much.
I'm going Houston with the upset victory this week. Deshaun Watson goes off with 4 tutties, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground, maybe 2-2. I said 2-2. I think he's going to do a little bit more to try to will his team to win, ultimately getting his team outside of a pick for a top pick. But hey, you're trying to compete. Houston 27, Cleveland Browns 17.
Ooh. I hate to do it, but I think Browns are going to win. I'm going to go Browns 27, Texans 24. I think Deshaun will keep it close, but
I said 27, didn't I? And I said Deshaun Watson's going to have 4 touchdowns. That's terrible math.
They could miss the extra point.
That is true. Thank you for
or go for 2 and not get 1. There's a lot of ways that could happen.
There's a lot of possibilities.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Browns are going to pull it out slightly just because they have the health or the better all around team right now. The Texans just not a lot to offer besides Deshaun.
Yeah. I mean, I think not Dalvin Cook. He was great.
Duke Johnson.
Dude, was it? I thought Brandon Cooks had a big touchdown last week for Houston.
Was it Cooks or Will Fuller? I think they both had like 50-plus yard touchdowns, actually.
I think they're going to start to gel. I think they're just going to start and win off a couple games and then give Houston some kind of hope, which they don't really have much of right now. I don't even think that team is like a full rebuild. They could be a reload. The
problem is they don't have picks to reload.
That's true. I mean, you're going to have to I don't know what their cap situation is looking like next year, but
probably not great.
I mean, you can save a lot of money, get rid of JJ Watt. I mean, you can get rid of a lot of bad contracts, and kind of I don't know. It might be a full rebuild, but I don't know. We'll see. Next game. Do you want to take care of this one? I'm talking about your team.
Oh, yes. So we got the Tampa Bay Bucks coming to visit the Carolina Panthers in the Queen City. And as we saw last week, the Bucks, more specifically Tom Brady, stink. So the Panthers are going to win.
Hold on, let's properly do it.
38-12. There they are. That's the Bucks.
That's
trash. The Panthers taking the Bucks and throwing them in the trash.
Tough Panthers team.
No, I'm gonna change my score. I'm gonna go Panthers 34, Bucks 24.
Not so fast, my friend. You know what happens when you take an L? Big Sean said it best. Last week, I took an L, and tonight, I bounced back. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers bounced back huge on a Christian McCaffrey-less Panthers team. Buccaneers by a lot. 38-13, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Stamp it.
Do not stamp it. That's not going to happen.
See, here's my reasoning behind this.
Teddy Bridgewater is cooking.
You got the bounce back game, but also you got a bit of we gave the Kansas City Chiefs a lot last week. And a back-to-back test for this team is a very difficult task to do. And giving them the work, giving the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions, the work, and then going straight into a divisional game, are you going to be able to rise back up for it? And ideally, yes, because it's a divisional game. It's a game in the division. What I said, divisional game. But I don't know. I see a slip. I think Tampa Bay can't afford to lose back-to-back divisional games and expect to still make the playoffs. This is a game they need. Bruce Arians is a straight savage and is gonna whip them boys back into shape because it's like, hey, I'll talk to him. I mean, shit, Tom Brady stinks. I mean, fucking Mike Evans was open. He should. I mean, we should have thrown him the ball more. Antonio Brown probably won't be playing much. What are we gonna do? But I think, yeah, Buccaneers bounce back game for sure. It just happens to be against your Carolina Panthers. Nothing personal, but it just happens to be against you guys.
No chance.
Let's see.
I think that's it for the 1 o'clock games.
Yeah, we're going to the 4 o'clock games, which we have a lot actually this week. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 3 405 and 3 425 games. There's a couple good late games. Most of actually, this next game that we're going to talk about, I think, has a possibility. I mean, this is a battle of 4 and 5 position, 5 and 6 position in the draft last year. I'm talking about the LA Chargers taking on the Miami Dolphins, a very good Miami Dolphins team that is close to competing with the Buffalo Bills if they can go on a run with one of our favorite guys on this show, Justin Herbert. He's been balling since he's gotten the ball and ran with it or passed it. He didn't really pass the ball, but he's been rocking it. He's been toting it. He's been doing it all. A tough quarterback, tough guy, young, with a can of an arm, pretty accurate, got a great set of receivers. Keep feeding Keenan Allen because he's on my fantasy team, and I need that. But
I traded Keenan Allen like week 2.
Mike, that was a terrible trade. You know,
at the time,
Jonathan, you have all these fantasy advice. Saturdays is great and everything like that, but you stink in fantasy. You stink.
Sometimes you take a big risk, and sometimes the risk
you're a risky guy
takes a big dump on you, and that's what this trade did to me.
You're the wolf of fantasy street.
I'm the wolf of Fall Street because this trade hit me over the head and I fell on my face.
I mean, at the time, it looked like a great trade. But the fact that Michael Thomas.
High ankle sprain is usually like a 2 to 3 week injury. So, okay, I trade Keenan Allen. I get Michael Thomas. But I could trade Keenan Allen. This was before week 2 now, after week 1. So I had Kenny Golladay, Courtland Sutton, Deontay Johnson. Things were looking up. I was like, all right, I got plenty of receivers.
Yeah.
That can carry me while he's out for these 2 to 3 weeks. Week 2, Courtland Sutton tears his ACL.
I had him too.
Kenny Golladay, I'm not even sure if he played week 2. I think he didn't play till week 3.
Like week 3, yeah.
Deontay Johnson got hurt. So, yeah, not great for me. And then Michael Thomas decided it's like a 5-week high ankle sprain. And
a suspension.
Then he's going to punch a teammate in the face.
Hey, Sled Boy. Oh, I bet I can guess your next route. Oh, big shocker. It's a slant.
Maybe he was just running scout team and trying to be Javon Wims. But I don't think that's the case.
And that man snatched his chain. That man said, turn around, snatch his chain, smack him. What? Boom, they came back again. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, he ate him, though.
He did. But I ain't gonna lie, he snatched that man's chain. Now that's disrespect, bro. You know something had to happen off the field, bro. You know something had to go.
He grabbed his mouthpiece the series before.
Yeah. I mean, I get, bro. Come on, man. That's stupid.
I mean, he's probably saying some stuff too, but like,
yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
He grabbed his mouthpiece.
He can get fired. He can easily lose his job for that shit. Imagine. How about this? Imagine this. Imagine losing your job. Probably won't get signed back to another team this season. And then they come run up on you, bro. After losing your job, bro. You flex coming off the. Yeah, I think he's eligible to come back this week, so we'll see. We'll see. I think it's been 2 weeks, right?
He stinks.
Yeah,
But that's what I expect from a Georgia Bulldog.
you're not wrong.
Classless.
You're not wrong. I'm not really a fan right now. Kind of mad. Let's move on. Did we do picks? We didn't do predictions for this game.
No.
So yeah, the Chargers and the Dolphins, two studs of quarterbacks. Can Tua continue his progression? He 93. I think he had 200 this week. Can he go for 300 this week against the Chargers? I think they're at home. The defense has been playing outstanding. Will Herbert have a dip, or will he bounce back this week? Chargers just can't seem to win the close games. They just have this curse of just not being able to close out these games. They're a good team. They have a lot of talent. And that's the thing. Like, they have so much talent, and I just don't want to see them waste the prime of Keenan Allen, one of the greatest receivers in the NFL currently. Definitely top 5, maybe top 3. But we don't have to talk about that right now.
No.
I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins. They're a hot team. Well, I don't know. Because I just feel like I feel like they can stumble this week. I feel like a stumble because, like, Justin Herbert gives people the work, man. Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow are giving teams the work, even though they're not winning.
One of them is.
I mean, just Joe Burrow is like he's been playing well. I mean, his offensive line stinks, but I mean, he's still been giving business.
And you think the Chargers is good?
No, I'm just saying they give people the work, but not winning games. So like they make you work for that dub. Is what I'm trying to say. I guess
Herbert's way better though.
Yeah, but he also has a better team around him too.
Does he though?
At least a better offensive line.
Not at all. You're high.
You think that the Bengals offensive line is better than the Los Angeles?
Can you name anybody on the Chargers offensive line right now?
I can't name anybody on the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line.
I can. Jonah Williams, first-round pick last year.
Oh, from Alabama, right?
Correct.
Is it Pouncey still on that team?
I think he's hurt. Or is that the Steelers' Pouncey?
No, I think Marquise. I think Mike Pouncey's for the Chargers.
One of them's hurt.
You're running out of time. Oh, no.
Yep, placed on injured reserve after undergoing season-ending hip surgery September 17th.
So is that not the return one, right?
No, it's season-ending. He had hip surgery.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I still stand by what I say. I think they both give teams the work for sure. Their offenses can put up points and give trouble. It's not as good as they can be. I think these two teams' offenses in the next couple of years can be really good, depending on if Zach Taylor's still the head coach. I mean, his schemes are pretty decent. I don't know if he can lead a team much further. I think he's a bona fide offensive coordinator that got a job because of Sean McVay. But what do I know? I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I think I'm just gonna go with the Dolphins here. They continue their winning streak. Defense is legit, but I think I did just see that Van Noy went on to the COVID list. Let me see. And somebody else, and Christian Wilkins.
Those are two big losses.
Among Dolphin starters Kyle Van Noy and Christian Wilkins among 3 players placed on reserve COVID-19 list, and wide receiver Matt Cole. So, yeah, that's a big loss. 2 big losses for that defensive side. So, yeah, I don't know. I just still think Dolphins are hot. And I'm going to go with the Dolphins here in this game.
Yeah, I agree. Dolphins got the hot hand. It's hard to not go with them. I think they got it. I'm going to go 24-21 Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a good score. I'll say ditto on that one because it's a middle-of-the-pack scoring game. Another interesting division game we got. We have the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Are the Raiders legit? Are they? Can they sneak a wild card game?
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, they're 5-3 right now. Denver is 3-5.
Drew Lock's been hot the last 2 weeks, though.
He's been great for me. He's been phenomenal. I was like, oh, I still got Drew Lock in my. I think I dropped him this week. Did I drop him this week? I might have dropped him this week. Let me see. I think.
I don't know if you dropped him, but I can tell you that he is going to drop the Oakland Raiders this week with a score of 21-17.
Yeah, I did drop him
Broncos
in favor of one of my tight ends, but I might have to drop McCole Hardman this week because he's on bye and got COVID. I don't know because he did play well, but Matt Stafford's playing against Washington. I don't know. Should I bet against Washington this week? Drew Lock's been on a hot hand. He's been having 2 really good games for me. You know what? I think I'm gonna drop Matt Stafford. I just convinced myself because Washington's defense is like top passing defense in the league.
And as we said earlier, Stafford's also without T.J. Hawkinson and Kenny Golladay. As of right now, they could both be back by Sunday, but it's Thursday and they did not.
Maybe I pick up Alex Smith.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I have a bro. It's funny. Like I picked up Kyle Allen the week he got hurt, and then my brother picked up Kyle Allen last week when he got hurt. And it's not a good week to start Washington quarterbacks. No. Yeah. What game are we talking about? We're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Yeah, Drew Lock's been hot. Good in fantasy. Good comeback win against the Chargers a couple of weeks ago. Didn't make the comeback last week against the Falcons. I think that team in that offense is progressing and is getting better. Now that
Jerry Jeudy had a 100-yard game this week, so he's coming along.
Yeah, that offense is pretty good, but the Raiders are just a tough football team. Like they're just a bunch of grinders, man. They're salt and pepper, baby. They are salt and pepper. They're just a bunch of grinders. And I don't know. I mean, John Gruden got that team cooking right now. I mean, if COVID stays out the building, I think they can have a pretty decisive victory. But again, divisional games are just different. They just hit different. As much as you want to use common sense and logic, they don't really matter. This happened. Last meeting, the Raiders taking on the Broncos. The Broncos beat the Raiders 16-15. That was back on December 29th, 2019. Look at me with the stats. I'm not even a stat guy.
You are tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the hot hand, I feel like. Well, I mean, they came off a loss. So really, the Raiders have the hot hand right now. That running game is pretty nice. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Raiders. I'm going to go Raiders, get a victory 24-17. Good football score.
Yep. I said earlier, I got Broncos. What did I say? 21-17. I think that's what I said. I'll stick with it.
Yep. You said Broncos?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sold on Derek Carr.
Hey, I'm sold on that running offense, though.
I'm not, because I got Josh Jacobs on my fantasy team, and he's not doing it for me.
Yeah, especially last week, Booker kind of.
Yeah, Booker kind of stole some touches, but I need more from Josh Jacobs. Hopefully I get it, and they get a win and prove me wrong, and he runs for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Or better yet, catches 10 passes for 200 yards and rushes for 100 yards.
Well, speaking of someone catching 10 passes and going for over 100 yards, let's talk about DeAndre Hopkins and the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Buffalo Bills, which I will call this right now as going to be the game of the week. These two teams are pretty good. I mean, Buffalo Bills has been playing really well this year, 7-2. The Buffalo Bills are 7-2. If you would have predicted that before the season, I probably would have slapped you. Josh Allen has 19 touchdowns and 5 interceptions with 107.2 quarterback rating right now. Stephon Diggs, 63 catches, tied for first, and 813 yards with 3 touchdowns on the season right now. Insane. I mean, that's insane. Stephon Diggs has been electric pickup at wide receiver for Josh Allen.
Top 5 wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. Say his full name, please.
Top wide receiver for sure. DeAndre Hopkins, the best wide receiver, hands down. In NFL, another addition to the Arizona Cardinals that helped Kyler Murray. So both teams getting a star wide receiver to help out with their young quarterbacks. And I mean, Buffalo's really playing well, 7-2 with that great defense. And Arizona is they're streakingly trying to find their way. 5-3 currently right now. I don't know. I don't know. Arizona is like that's the thing. Is like Arizona should be like so good on offense, but they just struggle to just keep that rhythm and to really ball out. Wait, if it's in Buffalo, that's a big factor. Let me double.
No, it's in Arizona.
It's in Arizona? Okay. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to do it. I didn't think I was going to be on this side. Ooh. I didn't think I was going to be for this team, but I'm going with the psych. I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals getting a victory, a close game. I think this is going to be a really close game, possibly an overtime game. This is really going to come down to the quarterbacks, and I think Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than Josh Allen. Don't come for me, but I just think I don't know. I just think that I don't know. It's going to be a good game. I think this is going to be a really good game. Game of the week. I'm going to call it. Arizona wins 35-34.
I also think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to go the other way, though. I'm going to go Bills 34, Cardinals 31. But okay. Yeah, like you said, these quarterbacks have both been very hot. I think they'll both continue that and put up some pretty good numbers. I just think that the Bills are the better all-around team right now, so I'm giving them the advantage. Even though I agree with you that Kyler Murray is the better quarterback.
Oh, okay.
You can come for me. I don't care.
All right. So moving on to the next game, we have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Saints coming off a big victory against Tampa Bay last week. Some interesting stats here. I'm just killing it with the stats game right now. The 49ers offense ranks 6th right now in the league, 13th defense, 8th passing attack, and 9th rushing attack. Whereas the Saints have the 13th best offense, 3rd best defense, 12th passing, and 15th rushing, right? So those are the paper stats. So in all indications, looks like the 49ers. Last meeting was a high-scoring affair. 49ers and the Saints. It was 48-46. 49ers got the victory. Not the same 49ers offense at all with Nick Mullins, I believe, getting the start this week. Greg Kittle's still out. Mostert there was hopes that he could come back this week, but they're eyeing him to come back next week or against the Bears, I want to say, on the 29th. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken.
Correct.
So close to getting him back. They brought up another running back off the practice squad, which he's probably going to make magic in the Shanahan offense. Honestly, this is a game that I would not be surprised if the 49ers pull out and win. because of the fact that the Saints are just so streaky and really not good. But that being said, I'm going to take the safe bet here, and I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints getting a victory. I just think that there's too many injuries for the 49ers. But I mean, you never know. Like Kyle Shanahan is so good that he could just coach his way into a dub, and I love Kyle Shanahan is probably one of my favorite coaches in the league. Besides Eric B, our client. Yeah, like Kyle Shanahan, was in Washington, he was in Atlanta, he was in Cleveland. Just everywhere he went, he had a good offense, except for in Cleveland. But I mean, it's hard to make shit look good in Cleveland. He's just a great coach, and I'm glad he got the opportunity to head coach, and he has a good. I mean, I think they're going to have to do a bit of a reload this offseason, and especially at the quarterback position. We'll see if they get a late quarterback or maybe go the route of maybe Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett in that offense? Wait a minute.
What did Monique say? I would like to see it.
Are we talking about some dubs? Jameis Winston going to the 49ers?
Jameis?
I mean, a strong running game behind him. He can scheme him up to throw the ball deep too. I don't know. Is Kyle Shanahan, is that a good fit though in that offense? I mean,
they don't really throw the ball deep that much though.
But that's just in this offense. I mean, think about the Kyle Shanahan offense in New Orleans. They're a big mid-range. They're like a 10, 15 yard ins and out type of team, but they can stretch the ball vertically with a good play action game.
I don't know if they have the receivers for that right now. Like they've built their whole receiving core around.
I'm talking about next season, so they definitely can draft. They can,
but all they have is yak guys right now. Debo's not a deep threat.
But I mean, I think you get a deep threat though in the free agency. You get like a guy. Maybe you get Emmanuel Sanders back. Did he sign a 1-year deal?
It's either a 1 or a 2-year deal. I don't think he's coming back though. I don't think he liked it there.
Well, I mean, you can get a deep threat, get a guy with an arm who I don't know. It's just like, see that thing too. I don't know if they would want to go for a guy whose accuracy is not the best, especially after coming from Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like you would go the opposite direction of a guy who's known for his accuracy, like an RG3. Just kidding. Oh, RG3 return to Kyle Shanahan's system?
I don't think RG3 is playing for a Shanahan ever again.
But it's Kyle, though. It's Kyle. Hey, I'm not my daddy.
No, but he was still on the coaching staff.
Yeah, he was on the coaching staff, but I mean, he played well in that Shanahan offense.
Yeah, he did. And Shanahan let him play when he had one knee.
Hey, bygones be bygones. They need a quarterback. He signed to play quarterback. Money talks. I'm trying to think who else would be interesting. What about Dwayne Haskins? He can make any good. He can make him look good. Who else is a backup?
Yeah, 2 Washington castoffs. That could be interesting.
That would be interesting. Maybe
if we're doing quarterbacks whose teams failed them, we could throw Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen? I mean, I feel like he could be bred.
He's a UCLA guy, so he could go back to Cali.
That's true. The weather's warmer, get a little bit comfortable. Now he feels in his element.
Shanahan.
But he still didn't play that well in Arizona when it's pretty hot over there as well. So,
but they didn't give him no talent around him in Arizona.
That's true. I mean, almost right now, it'd probably be the same situation. But Greg Kittle, you got, Debo. They definitely need weapons. And Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, but those are all yak guys.
Yeah. Hey, you just need to add. I mean, if you add a deep threat, I mean, that could be a good team.
Yeah. Which game?
What this 49ers game?
Oh, the scores? I don't think we did.
Yeah, I don't know. It should be interesting. We'll do a bunch of fantasy booking. We'll definitely do some fantasy booking episodes in the postseason and off season next year. before free agency. Because we're pretty good at that, actually. I think we've really come up throughout the season of some really good hypothetical ideas, thinking outside the box and having a next level thinking only here on Hate2Pylon, twitch.tv/Hate2Pylon.
Yes. So score?
49ers lose to the Saints. I'm going 35-20.
Sheesh. I'm going to go 24-20 Saints.
That defense still, I think Richard Sherman might be back this week too.
I don't think it matters.
It might. I don't know. I just San Francisco is a sneaky good team. Even when they're bad, they're not really bad.
They're still solid, even when they're down. The players they're down, but
they can finish the season.
The Saints are usually very good at beating up on teams who aren't that good. And the 49ers are decent, but they're not good. And the Saints just beat up on a pretty good Tampa Bay team last year. So usually they'll beat up on the bad teams and then lose to like the good teams. And that's been the MO for the last couple of years. But we could be seeing them turn a corner with sweeping the Bucs this year. I think the Bucs are definitely a better team than the 49ers. Therefore, I think the Saints are a better team than the 49ers. So, yeah, I'm going to go Saints. I'll go 27-20.
Okay.
Changing whatever I said earlier. I can't even remember it.
I mean, short-term memory, baby, is gone.
It's bad.
Also, another good game in a 4 o'clock span, which I mean is going to be a NFC West game right here. We got Seattle taking on the 6-2 Seattle Seahawks, taking on the 5-3 Los Angeles Rams. This is a big game for division seeding. I mean, right now you got 3 teams who are really good. I mean, the Cardinals are 5-3, the Rams are 5-3, the Seahawks are 6-2, and even the 49ers are 4-5. I mean, if they get healthy or healthy enough, I mean, they still can rattle off, a couple wins. But because I just can't count out the 49ers.
I can't.
But yeah. This game is in LA. I don't know. I think this should be a really good game. It depends. I mean, Jared Goff is always going to be the factor. I think Jared Goff is what we talked about Josh Allen last year. And even still, too, I think Josh Allen and Jared Goff are almost kind of the same. Well, not the same quarterback because Jared Goff is not mobile. But in terms of how we talk about them and their team surround, Rams defense is pretty good. And and they got good pieces around him for the most part, but he's going to be that factor of is Jared Goff going to do it? I don't know how many years he have left on his contract, but another disappointing finish to the season.
He's on an extension, I'm pretty sure.
Before the season?
Yeah, or before last season, maybe.
I feel like it's a 2-year, 3-year opt out. There got to be something. Because you got to find some way to get out of this Jared Goff.
4-year, $134 million deal in July of this year.
Sheesh. Is there a 1-year opt out? Because that sucks.
No, there sure isn't.
Because another mediocre. He's improving, but he's not improving the way that what you think for. Wasn't he first overall?
Yes.
So. What year did you get drafted? 2016?
Yeah, sounds right.
Let's look that up because I want to see the quarterback year. I want to see who got drafted that year.
Yeah, 2016 NFL draft.
So we got Carson Wentz, who went second. Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Jacoby Brissett, Jeff Driscoll, Nate Sudfeld, Cody Kessler, Cardell Jones, Brandon Allen, Kevin Hogan, Paxton Lynch, Connor Cook, Christian Hackenberg, Brandon Daughtry. So, really, in
So
this
basically,
draft,
the 3 first-round guys and Dak.
and Jacoby.
Oh, and Jacoby. My bad.
Yeah, and honestly, the best quarterback out of this whole draft
Dak.
is Dak Prescott. Yeah. Second would be Carson. Third, Jacoby. Fourth is Jared Goff. Jared Goff stinks. I'm going Seattle. I think the defense finally figures it out this week. Another week under the belt with Carlos Dunlap. I think he gets after the quarterback. I think Tyler Lockett's week to go off, and they score a lot, 35 points. I think they put up 35 points, and the Rams put up 20.
I agree with you that it's going to be Tyler Lockett's week because I think DK Metcalf is going to get the Jalen Ramsey shadow.
So Jalen Ramsey's a man.
He's a stud. So it should be a bad week for DK, which means a good week for Tyler Lockett. And yeah, I think the Seahawks are better, so I'm going to go Seahawks 31, Rams 21.
Okay. So now we move from a divisional battle in the West on the NFC side to a divisional battle to the AFC in the North. I'm from the North. My name is Jon Snow. I don't know. All right, we're talking about Cincinnati Bengals, the 2-5-1 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 8-0 undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. And can they be undefeated again after the Bengals this week?
Mason Ramsey, or not Mason Ramsey.
Rudolph?
Yeah, Rudolph, not the yodeling guy. I don't know if he could be any worse. Mason Rudolph stinks.
They also do, if I'm not mistaken, they also have Josh Dobson on the roster. I think they re-signed him.
Did they get him back from the Jags?
I think so. I think he got released. Let me check the roster real quick. They really liked him, but they traded. And then they liked him and they traded him. Then they didn't realize they needed him. Let's see. That's Mason Rudolph. How's this go? Is this going by? It's going by first name.
Ben, Mason Rudolph, Josh Dobbs, and Devlin Hodges.
Devlin Hodges is on the roster? I thought he got released.
He must
have got practice
squad. Yeah, practice squad.
So, yeah, I mean, with Ben Roethlisberger getting the double whammy this week, COVID plus a knee injury, how will this offense be? That's a big part. Will the defense step up to where, the offense doesn't have to score many points, which they did last year, which they finished 8-8. Let's first put this out there. Mike Tomlin needs more respect on his fucking name. Period. One of the best coaches in the NFL. Period. And don't get enough respect. I just need to say that. I need to have that in the universe. Like, he just needs more respect on his name. With winning 8 games last year with that terrible team they did, and that loose offense, terrible offense. But the defense stepping up and doing what they had to do to win games. I mean, and Mike Tomlin didn't make no excuses whatsoever. And he's been head coach there for a long time. I want to say like 9 years now, maybe.
Maybe
like
10. It's been a while.
It's been a long time, especially when you go from another coach who's there for a long time.
Bill Cowher,
and then he's like, oh, now he's gonna rebuild. But no, they found their guy right then and there, which is awesome. You love to see that. It's gonna be tough because the defense is really good. Joe Burrow, I don't know. I think Joe Burrow might have a slip-up game. I think I'm gonna go 24-17, my favorite score. I'm gonna go Steelers beating the Bengals.
All right, I'm going to give 2 scores here for this game because I don't know if Big Ben's playing or not. And if he does play, that completely changes the game. Let's see. If he does play, Steelers roll. 31-17. If he does not play, Bengals 27, Steelers 13.
Oh wow. Wow, okay. Respect.
Yeah. I don't know if Dobbs is playing or Mason Rudolph, but if it's Mason Rudolph, that 13 might be generous. Yeah, it's bad.
Speaking of generous, I was very generous to the New England Patriots this past Tuesday.
There goes Derrick Henry.
Touchdown?
No, only a 25-yard run, but it looked like it might have been one of his famous Thursday night breakaway touchdowns for a minute.
True.
It was like a good 25-yard pickup, though.
Hopefully, the New England Patriots can get a good 25-yard pickup sometime during this game when they take on the Baltimore Ravens, where just the other day, Lamar Jackson, hey, Coach, man, they said they know the plays. Coach, they said they know the plays. They said it was a run. Well, Doug, we run the ball every damn play. What the heck do you expect? So, I mean, in any other season, Patriots, Ravens, must-see TV. Nowadays, this season, not so much. But could the Patriots coming off Monday Night Football with the comeback victory that Cam Newton led, could Cam be getting his confidence back? Could Cam Newton be getting his swag back? Is that a thing? Is that a possibility? I think so. With the terrible, the Baltimore Ravens, it hasn't caught up to them yet. Could this be the week it starts catching up to where maybe they're not as good as you think? The 6-2 record looks very deceiving, but that offense
fool's
is not
gold.
Very good. Ooh, a little fool's gold. Is Lamar Jackson really the future of the NFL?
No, that's Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and Patrick Mahomes.
So we shall see. Will the descent start this week? And you know what? I'm going for the upset this week. I'm going New England Patriots pulling off the upset 28-27, a very close game. I think Cam Newton has to come back again and win this game for because I think, was it Akers? Not Akers. It was
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers. Well, he's been finally starting to get a target that he's get comfortable passing the ball to. James White out the backfield. Cam sneak here and there. Fumble by Lamar Jackson, nothing new. Interception by Lamar Jackson, nothing new. I think the New England Patriots will pull this game off, and I believe this game is in Foxborough. And yes, it is in Foxborough. So, New England Patriots 28, Baltimore Ravens 27.
Did Marlon Humphrey get put on the COVID list?
I think he recently just got off.
Yeah, he was just removed yesterday. Yeah, he's a top 5 corner in the NFL right now. And the Steelers receivers the Patriots receivers kind of stink outside of Jacoby Myers. I think the Ravens are going to put the clamps on whoever else the Patriots roll out at receiver. Cam's not going to have a lot of options. Much as it pains me to say it, I'm going with the Patriots L here. 24-17.
I just want to put this out there before we move on to the next game, the last game, I believe.
Monday night. Yeah.
Greg Roman says, recognizing our plays is an element of the game. This is nothing new. It's a part of the chess match.
Sounds like he's losing that chess match.
Terrible Say that to Andy Reid. Say that to Sean McVay. Say that to Kyle Shanahan, Eric B. Shit. Say that to Bill O'Brien. Get the
Not
fuck out of here.
B.O.B.
Get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit, bro. Anyways. I mean, you gotta say, like, you can't say it's good positive when your quarterback is literally blaming the play calling on national TV or radio. I think it was Rich Eisman's show. Shout out to Rich Eisman, man. That's a dog. So that's all.
Run, Rich, run.
Hey.
Speaking of running, we have Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. Vikings have been on a winning streak recently. Dalvin Cook has been on a very big hot streak. But the Bears' defense is pretty good.
They are. Khalil Mack and boys.
Yeah. NFC North divisional matchup.
Some pretty good divisional games to do this week.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good game because, like we said, the Bears are not as good as their record, which is 5-4. The Vikings are a lot better than their record, which is 3-5.
A lot of close losses they had as well early on. A lot of games that were close possessions.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't think Dalvin Cook's going to have the type of game he's been having the last couple of weeks.
Is it Kirk Cousins week?
It's Kirk Cousins prime time. So
prime time Kirk?
No. It's not it's not a Kirk week. Kirk stinks in primetime games.
Not last year though.
That's true. He did kind of reverse the curse last year.
And I mean, if with how the storyline plays out,
and the Bears kind of stink too. I might actually go Vikings here
because it makes sense because think about this. You've seen what Dalvin Cook has been doing the last 2 weeks. You're going to put an emphasis on the game plan this week to stop the run, make Kirk Cousins win the game, and maybe it's time for Kirk Cousins to be taking the back seat. I don't think he's had more than 200 yards his last 2 weeks passing the ball. So I think if you come out passing, started the ball strong, and then kind of implement the run game, screen game to Dalvin Cook, that could be a game plan for success, possibly as long as Kirk Cousins doesn't throw a fucking interception in the first quarter. It's a good possibility. Last time the Bears and Vikings met, the Bears won 21-19. So there's that. Let me see. Let me look at the stats from the last games.
Was that this year or last year?
Last year, December 29th, 2019. That's not what I wanted to see. These are the wrong stats. I want to see by the game stats, not overall. All right, Kirk Cousins, 15 touchdown passes to 10 interceptions this season. You heard me right, 10 interceptions. Oh, boy. Okay, so
Tom Brady numbers.
The last 2 games. Okay. I was wrong. Okay, so last week against the Lions, he did have 13 completions for 13 of 20 for 220 yards and 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, pretty good.
And then against the Packers, he had 11 for 14 for 160. So he did go over 200 last week, but under 200 the week before. But of course, I mean, Dalvin Cook was cooking. But then against the Falcons in the loss, 24 for 36 for 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, but also 3 interceptions. Since that game, he's thrown 0 interceptions. So, and has only been sacked twice in 2 games, which is good versus being sacked. He was on the streak of he had the first 5 games of the season, he was sacked 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 times in 5 games.
Sheesh.
And so last 3 games sacked 3 times, which is pretty good. a big improvement. But I mean, also when you're not passing the ball as much. Yeah. Primetime Kirk Cousins, does he come alive this week? I think so. Primetime Nick Foles is not a thing. It's not a thing unless
Super Bowl was prime time.
Yeah, that Super Bowl is primetime. But 2020, how about this? 2020 Nick Foles, that doesn't exist.
That's fair.
Can we see a Mitchell Trubisky sighting this week? Possibly.
Ooh.
I don't know. I just think Mitchell Trubisky kind of has the same situation as a Dwayne Haskins. I'll be damned if Mitchell Trubisky plays again this week, barring injury. But the same thing with Dwayne Haskins. There's been interesting speculation this week that the way that Steven Montez, practice squad quarterback, could possibly start over him because of he like his development in practice. There's been speculation through the media of that. Did I say Steven? Yeah, I said Steven Montez.
Steven Montez ain't started.
Not starting, but if the opportunity with injuries or whatever,
he's not playing.
Because he said they didn't want. Cause I think it was a question of if you guys would sign a quarterback for like a backup quarterback, barring another injury. But anyways, that is
the only way he might play is if Alex Smith gets hurt. And they don't want to play Haskins because they're worried Haskins might get hurt, and they can't trade him.
Yeah, they don't want to play Dwayne Haskins. Period.
Well, I mean, in theory, you'd let him play up his trade value a little bit and then trade him. But if he gets hurt before you can trade him, you're out of luck.
Or if he just stinks up the place too, then it hurts his trade value.
That too. So we'll see what they do. I guess it's possible Steven Montez plays, even though he really shouldn't. He's not ready. He's very raw.
I think he was former XFL quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or
no, I'm pretty sure he's a rookie.
Let me double check. Discount double check.
If he's not a rookie, he's a second-year guy. Colorado. Yeah, signed an undrafted free agent in 2020.
Oh, okay. This IR just looks sad looking at it. Jesus. Bright side, Bryce Love did practice this week.
Ooh. First practice this year?
I want to say yes. Oh, actually, well, he was playing in training camp, but I think he got
hurt right before the season started, didn't he?
Or something like he aggravated something. He might have re-aggravated something.
Yeah, he's always hurt. He's made of glass.
I mean,
Jordan Reed of running backs.
I don't know about that, but I think he just had one. He just had one injury, one major injury. That's just carried on.
Isn't he in like his third year?
No, this is his second year. He didn't. Yeah, they never. I think he was on IR all last year, rehabbing from his injury.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, they drafted him knowing he was going to be out for the whole year last year. And then same thing with the Reuben Foster.
He hasn't played in an NFL game yet.
So we'll see. I mean, I would love to see Bryce Love and Antonio Gibson go 1-2, especially if, Bryce Love is healthy and our offensive coordinator is competent enough. That'd be great to see. But one thing that we hate to see is that this episode is over. And we are excited, though, for some football this weekend. College football, go Coastal Carolina, go Dogs, go Tigers.
Tigers are on fire.
They're on the bye. Okay, they stink
but
anyway.
go anyway. They do.
I think LSU postponed, Mississippi State postponed, Alabama postponed. Maryland, Ohio State postponed. You hate to see it.
Georgia, Missouri's postponed. Did you say that one?
No, did that game get postponed?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't see that one. Dang, this sucks.
Ohio State, Maryland canceled. Texas A&M, Tennessee postponed. Auburn, Mississippi State postponed. Alabama, LSU postponed. That's 5 games right there.
That's 5 good games. Fuck. Oh, I guess we're watching Pac-12 this week.
That's 3 top 5 teams.
We watched Pac-12. Shout out to Herm Edwards and Arizona State. Shout out to Coastal Carolina, boys. Let's get this dub this week. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, they'll be playing on ESPN2 at noon against Troy.
I'll be tuning in. I might have to work. I think
Liberty.
Oh yeah, Liberty. Who they play this week?
Western Carolina.
Okay.
At noon on ESPNU.
I want to see that keep going. Liberty, and then the super matchup, Liberty versus Coastal Carolina. That should be a really good matchup in the season.
Yeah, so it looks like the only top 5 team in action this week is Notre Dame against Boston College. Because Clemson's on a bye, and then the other 4, or the other 3, all got postponed or canceled outright in the case of Ohio State, Maryland.
That should have been an interesting game. I mean, Ohio State always waxes Maryland, but Maryland's offense has been coming alive these last couple of weeks.
Facts.
And the defense, I mean, and it's a young team. Maryland's a really young team. And the fact that they're starting to get some progress and getting some like traction. I mean, they had their true freshman wide receiver went off last week for like 2 tutties. What is his name? He's from Maryland. He's from the state of Maryland too. Why am I blanking on his name? Number 5, crazy speed.
Oh, Raheem Jarrett?
Yeah, Raheem Jarrett.
Yeah.
Had a big game last week. A coming out game for sure. And I mean, Leah, man, I mean, he's good. He's a good quarterback. He's getting, as he's getting comfortable in the system, him and Locksley, Locky, whatever you want to call him, Coach Locke, definitely got some synergy. Of course, coming from Alabama. He could sneak away into the NFL if he keeps progressing. And he is short. He's like a Russell Wilson body type, but he can run the ball as well. So I mean, if he's accurate, he has a strong arm. Ball explodes out of his hand. We'll see what happens. But that is all that we got for tonight. Have a great night. Thank you for watching. This has been Hate2Pylon. Pylon Picks, Week 10. Oooooweeee! Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. See you guys on Tuesday.